Hello, my name is Zach Buckles, and I want to thank you for joining me today to discuss our middle school's efforts to promote a shared sense of belonging for students and staff. During today's presentation, you will hear referenced leadership characteristics associated with servant leadership and follower leadership theory. Among these traits are distributive shared leadership and decision-making, establishing a shared vision that prioritizes the needs of those being served, and openness to feedback, and a reciprocity of serving, leading, and following. Being empathetic to the needs of others requires sound listening and observation skills, ongoing feedback cycles, trust, and empowerment. It also requires building common norms and values to support a mission. Throughout today's presentation, you'll hear how our leadership team used these characteristics to develop a plan to support and grow a sense of belonging for students attending the middle school. In 2019, our school underwent significant changes in personnel, with 3 new administrators, 12 new instructional staff members, and an entirely new PTSA council. Significant changes like this can directly impact a school's climate, especially when changes in expectations, traditions, and norms are implemented. While some changes are visible, their impacts are often reflected in a school's data. Every year, our school administers a climate survey for staff and students to complete. When completing the 2019-2020 end-of-year school survey, 67.5% of students agreed that they had a sense of belonging at the school, revealing that approximately 1/3 of the 1,105 student participants believed they did not belong. The previous 3-year data revealed significantly higher results, with a mean of 83.3% expressing a sense of belonging. As a new administrative team, we knew that administrative placements are designed to facilitate change, and while the data revealed that 1/3 of students lacked a sense of belonging, we did take comfort in the fact that our academic data and other school climate results improved. However, this one data point was alarming to our team, and we knew that it needed to be addressed directly. Changing the cultural environment would require the use of traits closely associated with servant leadership to include empathy, understanding, empowerment, shared decision-making, and supporting the well-being of our stakeholders. By participating in a root cause analysis, we met with small focus groups of teachers and students that were randomly selected from teams at each grade level. These teams would later be known as student and teacher advisory groups, and we continue to meet with them today. When listening to our stakeholders, observing their concerns, and providing them with a voice, we are able to identify ideas that help us develop solutions for an improved school climate, which is integral to servant leadership. By the end of the school year, the focus groups revealed that while they believed the climate of our school was positive and welcoming, they did miss some of the community building opportunities that existed with the previous administration, to include quarterly pep rallies, regular guest speaker assemblies, which were often managed by the PTSA. The previous administration also implemented a loosely constructed system known as design time, which took place during student study halls. During this time, students were able to complete community volunteer opportunities, such as designing birthday bags for homeless shelters, fundraising opportunities and adoption events for the SPCA, and hat knitting for neonatal intensive care units. When the new administrative team observed design time in practice, it noticed an inconsistency in implementation, staff frustrations with a lack of organization and support, and a segment of the student population unable to participate because of academic credit recovery and remediation. The practices were not aligned with our goals, vision, and mission of the school, especially when opportunities were provided for some, but not all. With pressure from staff and inconsistencies in implementation preventing accessibility to students, the new administration paused design time for a more traditional study hall period. Feedback from students and staff indicated that this was a missed opportunity, and students wanted to return to activities like this, where they could interact with peers and staff members to work on purposeful objectives for their community. As middle school educators know, our students enjoy enthusiastic and spontaneous opportunities that engage them with real social issues and concepts of justice and community. Middle schoolers gradually become interested in engaging in group discussions to tackle big ideas, especially with their peers and trusted adults. Students were invited to share these ideas with our instructional leadership team, which consisted of our grade level department chairs, our counseling staff, instructional coaches, and administration. With students in ILT, we drafted a PCI goal specifically designed to address this gap in our school climate data. This served as yet another example of servant leadership, by empowering our students and our teachers to solve a very real problem, and by aligning it to a common vision for success. We knew the likelihood of the system working well would only improve. The work we were engaged with had to be shared by administration, staff, and student alike. We knew that this would be a difficult challenge, especially entering unfamiliar territory of a virtual school year. The plan, while implemented for the 2021 school year, has carried over to the 21-22 school year as we return to our face-to-face instructional setting. ILT teachers that participated in professional development learned about the morning meeting model from elementary school teachers, which again was widely practiced at the elementary level. ILT team members also volunteered to participate in book studies aligned with the practices promoted by the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, CASEL, which is an organization that provides high-quality research and initiatives to support SEL. Together with our administration and instructional support teams, our school decided to move forward with the responsive classroom model, which provides direct instruction for SEL. We aligned our bell schedule, our teaching assignments, our professional development, and our observation feedback to prioritize student belonging in our school, with a set focus on improving SEL in our building. Our PCI goal was created to increase the sense of belonging in students from 67.5% to 90%, as measured by the Social and Emotional Learning and School Climate Survey. We also amended our school's mission statement with input from students, teachers, and families to include phrases that spoke to the social and emotional needs of students, including a safe and welcoming environment, support, and social and emotional excellence. With a common goal and interest in improving school climate, especially for students, our teachers exhibited traits of followership and were keen on not only following, but leading change in our building for our students. Another key example of servant leadership at work. ILT and student advisory teams agreed to create a new name for our responsive classroom, Pulse Check. Students and staff agreed that placing Pulse Check at the beginning of the day would help students ease into school, with intentional check-ins with trusted adults and engaging lessons promoting self-reflection, goal setting, progress monitoring, collaboration, and fun. To support our staff, a team of teachers, administrators, and coaches agreed to volunteer their time to build SEL lessons for their colleagues. They're making use of Benson, Clemente, Donner, Palenko, Januska's, and Searle's The Responsive Advisory Meeting Book for Middle School. This resource emphasizes student collaboration, student-teacher relationships, communication, and celebrations with structured routine lessons to support CASEL competencies. Lessons are prepared for teachers to implement during Pulse Check each day. Again, another example of servant leadership where administrators and teachers agreed to support their colleagues in designing SEL lessons. Teachers are excited to have one less lesson to prepare and are excited to share their ideas for lessons with the team. Parents, too, have emailed administration in support of Pulse Check, indicating that their students feel a greater connection with their teachers and peers. Feedback such as this informs the team of what lessons are needed and how they can be designed to better interest and engage students. Our team is eager for feedback to inform their interchangeable roles as both leader and follower. Our school broke with the traditional bell schedule used by other middle schools in our division, shifting our study hall period for all grade levels to the beginning of our instructional day. While this directly impacted our ability to participate in distance learning opportunities with middle schools, we knew that prioritizing SEL opportunities for our students was critical to our building's climate and continued growth. To ensure that all students are able to participate in Pulse Check, time is reserved for the first 30 minutes of the instructional day to address SEL needs and to participate in SEL activities. It also allowed for peer tutoring in our building. Students in grade 8 volunteer their time to tutor grade 6 and 7 students in reading, writing, and math. To return to the concept of design time from previous years, Fun Fridays were also designed by teachers to engage in community service projects. Middle school teams polled students of interests in particular service-oriented opportunities, and support staff, counselors, administrators, and coaches work with Pulse Check groups to connect students with community organizations and guest speakers. By protecting time at the beginning of the day, we're able to hold grade-level celebrations, assemblies, and other opportunities without interfering with instructional time, and we as administrators can return the favor by supporting our teachers in their efforts to support SEL in their classrooms. Student advisory groups are continuing to meet with administration to address concerns and provide ideas or solutions to school climate concerns. Our first meeting this year provided administration with feedback regarding the routines and procedures in our new building. Our second meeting provided us with ideas on how to use the new space to celebrate students and staff throughout the halls. Student groups encouraged us to assign display cases and boards to specific Pulse Check classes. Each class uses their space to post messages of support and thanks, to decorate and display their work, and to show student interviews with teachers in the staff and student spotlight showcases throughout the building. Many of the spaces reflect the work done in Pulse Check so that the collaboration, communication, and creativity elements of the lessons are visible to everyone, including our visitors, throughout the building. Another critical element of servant leadership is to listen to the needs of those you serve. The qualitative data we pull from our student advisor groups is also bolstered by data we collect from our monthly Pulse Check surveys to students. While participation in the first survey was high, a total of 93% of students participating, we noticed that the participation rate declined with each subsequent monthly survey. We met with ILT and with students who all agreed to modify the survey administration dates, which are now administered every quarter. Additionally, students wanted to provide additional information beyond the Likert scale survey and asked for a space to post ideas and suggestions as groups encountered them. Teachers also supported this idea and are actively working with their groups in weekly reflections to generate ideas and solicit feedback from their students. With COVID mitigation still in place, we are exploring opportunities to pull groups together for school-wide celebrations. Prior to closing for COVID, we were holding grade-level celebration assemblies to highlight school-wide PBIS winners, Achieve 3000 and IXL victories, sports teams, and staff members of the month. These assemblies differed from previous rallies in that they were intentionally designed to celebrate students across all areas of our school. It aligned with our mission and our vision, and also speaks to the importance of celebrating successes with servant leadership. They're also intentionally designed to reinforce our high expectations for behavioral and academic success. We met with our ILT and Pulse Check teacher teams to explore solutions to the COVID mitigations. The team decided to make use of the new technology in our building to host live broadcasts from our auditorium and are inviting students and staff members we celebrate for in-person recognitions. All Pulse Check groups tune in to the broadcast and celebrate from their rooms. Rather than divert time away from our classroom instruction, we use the time built into Pulse Check to hold our celebrations. In preparation for our upcoming school leadership site visit meeting, we are happy to report that our first quarter survey results revealed that our sense of belonging sits at 86.5%, well above our original 67.5%, and 8% higher than the mean score of other middle schools in our division. Our staff are also supporting the implementation of Pulse Check as well as our school-wide celebration. They share that they are appreciating the shared work that makes leading SEL lessons easier, the lessons that are generated for teachers, as well as the openness to feedback they provide to the Pulse Check teacher team have gained the support of our teachers. They also shared that they valued our school-wide celebrations, which provided greater purpose without the loss of instructional time. While we have not attained our goal of 90%, we are excited about our progress and the systems we are building to support the sense of belonging for students in our building. Our next step is to invite parents, families, and students to our Pulse Check team as contributing members so that the lessons that we design meet not only the needs of our school, but as well as the needs of our community and individual students. We are excited about the next steps that we are embarking on and hope beyond belief that we exceed our goal of 90% for a sense of belonging for our students, a most purposeful and intentional goal designed to support their social and emotional needs. If you have questions or suggestions on how to improve a sense of belonging for students attending our middle school, please feel free to reach out to me. We're eager to solicit ideas from colleagues in other buildings and other divisions and are excited to see what you are implementing to support the social and emotional needs of our children as well as our teachers. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to hear the great work we're doing in our school, and I look forward to hearing from you as well as the presentations you have to offer so that we can begin to collaborate and explore common ideas together. Thank you.